Kate Martin had a lot of momentum when she joined the WNBA. However, that enthusiasm quickly devolved into chaos. As her rookie career began to stall, the former Iowa standout, the same reliable running companion who assisted Caitlin Clark in leading the Hawkeyes to consecutive Final Fours, ended up buried on the Las Vegas Aces bench. I believe that both of your Iowa teams impacted women's basketball in general and women's collegiate basketball in particular. Is it kind of ridiculous to consider that? If you were involved in something that served as a trigger for this, like a bigger expansion, one game after another, the rhythm vanished, the minutes dried up, and the squad that ought to have been fostering her development appeared content to let her fade into the background. Then Caitlin Clark made a single phone call that changed everything. In a recent interview, Kate discussed why joining the Golden State Valkyries felt more than just a transfer, the exact moment she realized Vegas was never really the perfect match, and the talk with Caitlin that helped her regain her edge. It was similar to regaining her career. Leave a remark for Kate the Great if you're rooting for her. I had heard about Caitlin Clark and watched videos of her averaging 1,000,000 points in high school. I thought, oh, this girl thinks she's going to come here and rule the world, like however it's going to be, no, whatever, and she immediately came in and ruled the world. I thought, all right, here we go. To understand how this story ended up here, you have to go back to Iowa before Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin turned Carver Hawkeye Arena into one of the loudest stages in college basketball. The national conversation did not revolve around Iowa women's basketball. Then everything was altered by those two. Home games began to feel like events rather than just regular games. It's because of what they constructed on the floor, not because of the hoopla. The viral moments, the logo threes, and the fireworks were all brought by Caitlin. The building was brought by Kate. Under the limelight, she was the player, the stabilizer, and the connector who made the whole thing function. She was never merely an extra's no extra. She was a component of the engine. She was performing things that I had never seen anyone do before, as I recall from that previous summer. Additionally, it's not common for a freshman to arrive with that level of confidence. We thought she would be exceptional because I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. Extra this. Then yes, we had some significant victories at the start of the year. There were definitely highs and lows that year, but it took us a while to figure it out. Nevertheless, it clearly worked out better than I have imagined or predicted. Consider those last 4 runs in 2023 and 2024. The majority of folks recall Caitlin blowing up for record-breaking scoring nights. That's all well and good, but if you look behind the news, Kate Martin was giving Iowa a 13, 1 point, and almost 7 rebounds per game. That is not a stat line for a background player. That is true. Produced from a person with actual weight. Kate was unique because she recognized her worth without making it a contest. She didn't have to be better than Caitlin to be significant. Caitlin and the entire squad were becoming even more difficult to stop because of her gift. She served as the unifying factor, the balance, and the glue that held everything together. In a nutshell, what did you observe about Caitlin's work ethic? Was there anything that caught your attention? Yes, without a doubt. She was in the gym all the time, and she seemed to approach everything with a certain level of excellence. It wasn't like, oh, I'll just go through the motions and whatever. If you're across from me, you're my enemy, and I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better, she said during every drill and practice, especially when our gray squad guys were playing against us. Had that next level mentality, which truly elevated us all alongside her. Remember that victory over South Carolina in the Final Four? The game that altered perceptions of Iowa and stunned an unbeaten superpower. According to Kate, that was the turning point in her career. And that makes sense. She was all over the game, boxing out, cutting off plays, establishing crushing screens, talking about defense, and doing all the little things that winning players do. If you were to choose a favorite highlight, it would be reaching will they defeat South Carolina and end their streak in the Final Four? What would have been the moment if we had reached the last game? It was amazing, in my opinion, to defeat South Carolina. We all thought we could make it to the Final Four, so it was the nicest moment ever. We were like, all right, we made it to a Final Four. Let's go. This is great. Off-greet.
Great.
We didn't expect we would actually make it to the national tournament. Championship. Similar to the unbeaten South Carolina, they resemble twin toe-weave twiners down there. Similar to a long-standing, talented sporting team. The moment we successfully carried out our strategy and defeated them was undoubtedly one of the highlights of my career. In the midst of stress, she maintained her composure. Kate assisted Caitlin in creating the space she needed. Kate provided the crew with the calm they needed. Highlight clips don't always capture that type of leadership, but they frequently determines who makes it through those crucial tournament stages. And when I think back on it and even simply speak with you today, it seems like Caitlin is a major team focal point. She will be responsible for much of the scoring and other tasks. It's almost like good cop, bad cop with you. She just needed to be herself, and that was going to win you games. I don't mean to sound literal, but you had to step in and act as a kind of soothing influence. As these teams begin to take shape in 2023 and 2024, I'm genuinely wondering about your leadership style in relation to players like Caitlin, as well as the rest of your teammates. And there was more to Caitlin A's twin Caitlin SND Kate's relationship than just chemistry. It appeared to be instinctive. When Caitlin missed, Kate knew when to crash for a rebound. Caitlin was aware of Kate's whereabouts and when to rely on her to protect a valuable item. I felt more at ease and like, hey, look me in the eyes, deep breath, Caitlin's? Deep breath. Thinking everything will be all right. I believe that my leadership style was mostly based on trust. She seemed to trust me because she had witnessed me working hard at the gym. She was aware of my concern. Even though I was just 2 years older than her, she still thought that I was looking out for her best interests, as I often demonstrated to her. For example, I developed a bond with her outside of basketball. I made an effort to establish ties outside of basketball with all of my teammates. Therefore, I didn't just talk to you on the court and tell you things like, hey, you can't do that, or hey, do the, whatever. It's referred to as relational equity.
Exactly.
Kate was in charge of the screens, rotations, hustle rebounds, and other tasks that don't often receive the eye-catching edit. That deep breath attention was the reason Iowa was so risky. Having a celebrity was never the only factor.
It
was about having the perfect player at her side. If we had to communicate with Caitlin, it would be similar to Kate's job at times. Then, throughout her junior and sophomore years, she had accomplished so much in terms of improving herself and learning how to be a fantastic teammate. Teammate that I really didn't need to do all of that. Yes. However, I was appreciative that she trusted me enough to relate to it, and I was appreciative that I was there. Someone who is capable of speaking up and saying, it's also great when you're rewarded, right? And someone you guys were rewarded in multiple ways, but one of them was getting to the Final Four. But the WNBA is a completely different animal, and Kate Martin quickly realized that. She most likely thought that the same combination of camaraderie, tenacity, reflexes, and smart basketball that made Iowa so dangerous would help her carve out a career in the professional ranks. Instead, in Las Vegas, she ran right into a wall. She was drafted by the Aces, but what transpired felt less like a rookie development plan and more akin to a calm, gradual push to the periphery. Kate was largely confined to the sidelines as her opportunity to gain momentum vanished, while A'ja Wilson and Vegas's seasoned stars relished every significant moment. The point is quite evident from the numbers. She was averaging about 20 minutes per game in May, which is good for a rookie who is still figuring things out. That figure had fallen to just 11 by September
5th.
With it, her stats dropped to 2.
6
points plus 1. 6 rebounds every night. That doesn't indicate a lack of skill. That is a blatant shortage of runway. In college, the same player who was hitting shots, pounding the glass, and making excellent reads was suddenly reduced to standing ready on the bench with no real opportunity to prove anything. You truly do, but as you are aware, it's difficult. For example, there are only 12 places. And when the playoffs came around, it somehow became even more repulsive. 3 minutes in all, 3 playoff games. You are no longer discussing development at that moment. You're discussing a choice. And it was clear what Vegas decided. The true plan did not include Kate Martin. I'm interested. Now that you're in your second year, what do you think makes playing in the WNBA so challenging? I mean, man, I simply believe the Toughness, quickness, and intelligent athletes, like extremely intelligent players. To be honest, people have been around for a very long time. Well, yes. I mean, I'm just remembering how much I enjoyed New York. They are enormous. They're really, really, really good, you know. Many of these individuals have been professional basketball players for a very long period. Sue Bird has spoken. Previously discussed how challenging it may be to make the transition from college to the WNBA. The game is more physical, the pace is quicker, and there's less room for error. That transition can humble even elite college athletes. However, for Kate, this went beyond simply mastering the professional game. This was about being stuck in a situation where development was never truly given priority. It's difficult to score, like those who, on average, like however many points like. To be honest, it's very amazing. I've never been more impressed by basketball as I am right now. For example, basketball is a straightforward game, but that doesn't make it simple. A simple game. However, it's true that people put in a lot of effort. They are physically strong, large, quick, and lengthy. I simply enjoy having to learn how to be patient, nimble, and in control. That's something new. I'm still working on that because sometimes you strive to constantly do the right thing and make the proper read, but you forget to go play basketball. This is due to the way the aces were constructed, which virtually ensured it. The rotation was always going to be dominated by veterans like Asia Wilson and Chelsea Gray. Furthermore, Becky Hammond had no intention of upsetting that hierarchy in order to try out a rookie. Young players weren't exactly being brought along carefully in that setting. Until later, they resembled depth bits more. For minutes, Kate didn't really engage in combat with players of her caliber. She was attempting to gain access to an old machine that had no desire to make room. That is hardly a criticism of her skills. It is a critique of the predicament she found herself in. And that must have been the most painful thing. Her career seemed to be regressing in real time with each game in which she hardly touched the floor. She was running scout team reps at every practice rather than developing into. For her to feel like she belonged there, her own role had to feel like a punishment. She was not receiving constructive challenges to the confidence she had developed at Iowa. Situation, hierarchy, and a system that never gave her a fair chance to breathe were eroding it. The reason for this is that, in comparison to starters, coming off the bench is extremely difficult. You get my point. However, it's not always the case. In a short period of time, and have a significant influence. Yes, that is, in my opinion, one of the most difficult things. And whenever I've been around a teammate who has accomplished that, it's sometimes more amazing than the star player who simply has the all clear. Additionally, you've sort of already mentioned the balance. That's the painful lesson she ultimately discovered. The WNBA evaluates not just your skill level, but also your landing location and timing. Even if you are talented, tough, and intelligent, none of that will matter if you end up in the wrong system with the wrong priorities. Develop. When talent is buried behind politics and social hierarchy, it cannot thrive. Additionally, Kate Martin was not being developed in Las Vegas in Asia Wilson's shadow and within Becky Hammond's inflexible rotation. They were abandoning her. Kate Martin's life was completely transformed by a single phone call. One discussion in Las Vegas that prevented her career from declining. Kate sought out the person she had always trusted when she was at her lowest, buried on the AC's bench and beginning to question whether she really belonged in the WNBA. When the sky became overcast, she gave Caitlin Clark a call. What were your thoughts on the entire expansion draft situation? I was ecstatic.
All right.
You kind of expected it when you weren't protected, and then whatever happened just happened. Yes, I kind of anticipated that. You were like, there are just too many good players, after looking at the roster. It's a company. For example, like it is what it is. This wasn't merely a quick catch-up. It was the kind of call that completely changes your perspective. Already, Caitlin was struggling with her own difficult transition to Indiana. The physicality, the speed, and the pressure of representing a whole league. However, Caitlin recognized the problem as soon as Kate described what was going on in Vegas. Kate wasn't skilled at it. It was the arrangement surrounding her. No one in that circumstance appeared willing to acknowledge what Caitlin told her. Kate was doing well. She was being let down by the surroundings. I had no idea whether or not I had been protected until that point. All right. And so, yes, it is correct. In reality, they don't tell you. They didn't tell everyone, but they told some. I have nothing to do with it. No, it's actually wise that they keep it a secret since I would simply be. That's a mess.
Yes.
Thus, I do. I was ecstatic to have another chance when I was informed that I would be picked up. For example, some persons are not given the chance to join a team or attend a training camp. I was thrilled to know that I would have another shot, and I was also really appreciative of it. Yes, I was truly joyful. I mean, because it came from someone who understood exactly what Kate adds to winning basketball, it struck a deep chord. She was reminded of what they constructed at Iowa by Caitlin. The synergy, the trust, the sense of each other's game, and how Kate's presence always made things go more smoothly. She made it clear to Kate that being successful doesn't always mean trying to survive in an unsuitable environment. Finding the proper one is important at times. All of a sudden, leaving Vegas did not seem like a sign of surrender. It appeared as though she was picking on herself. According to Sue Bird, players require a team that genuinely values what they do, not just a roster place. For Kate, that came to pass. Therefore, it did not seem like a tiny step when the Golden State Valkyries took her in the expansion draft. It was like a new beginning. Vegas handled her as if she were disposable. She was treated as if she were important by Golden State. You're in the Bay now. The franchise is brand new. Tickets for the season were sold out right away. I've heard that home games are crazy. The proprietors have emerged. A chip within the first 5 years, they said. Thus, there are big hopes. Well, as you mentioned, it was a chance to form a team, and you succeeded in doing so. What has the thrill of a fresh franchise been like? Then, before she even took a shot, the Valkyries knew they were getting a leader, a communicator, and a player who shapes culture. In her initial, this league is all about opportunity, and sometimes you only need one real chance, Kate stated in an interview, precisely capturing the essence of the situation. Caitlin gave her the confidence to wager on herself, and Golden State provided a venue for her to do so. Her career was not the only thing that was saved by that phone call. It restored her self-assurance. But let's face it, this is more than just switching jerseys. This is the type of reset that most players only experience once. In professional sports, expansion teams offer something uncommon. An opportunity to assist with construction from the ground up rather than being forced into someone else's completed building.
Kate Martin needed just that.
A fresh start and the opportunity to establish herself according to her own standards. It's been fantastic. It must be crazy. Yes, it has been fantastic. For example, the fans are really loud.
Yes.
Yes, Chase Center has been fantastic. And they've been persevering throughout the entire game. For example, they stayed the whole time and supported us from the first to the last minute while we were losing to LA in the first game. As a team, it means a lot that your supporters continue to like and support you. They had made an investment. You see folks in the Bay Area wearing Valkyries apparel all the time, so that is pretty great. Golden State and Las Vegas are nearly diametrically opposed. The Aces were centered on status, stars, and a strict rotation. At its core was Asia Wilson. There was hardly any room left for a young player to develop once that hierarchy was established. Kate never entered a system that was intended to help her grow. The Valkyries are not like that. They are starting from the beginning. Thus, basketball character, chemistry, and fit do important things. The Valkyries sought intelligent, selfless athletes who could contribute to the development of the teams. Identity. Kate is a fantastic fit for that description. After seeing Kate in Vegas, head coach Natalie Nicasy was already aware of her potential, but the current situation is quite different. Effort, communication, and aim are the norm in Golden State. Errors can be fixed. You can't drift through the game. Kate benefits from this, since she has never required perfection to be worthwhile. All she needs is a genuine opportunity to participate and use her energies to influence the game. That type of player is important in this setting. I'm thankful to work with all of the girls on this roster, but it feels incredibly wonderful to be a part of that history and something so new. We obviously realize it will be a tremendous learning year for us. And that's precisely what the Aces in Vegas lacked. In Golden State, rookies can be overshadowed by the season machine. Kate is neither an insurance policy nor an afterthought. She is a member of the foundation. Her job is to use the same qualities that made her so significant at Iowa to help shape the culture. Caitlin Clark and everyone around her benefited from her toughness, consistency, hustle, and selfless glue player presence. Her role on the court is straightforward, yet crucial. Make the wise pass, hit the open shot, defend with intent, and rebound forcefully. She isn't pursuing meaningless statistics.
She is
Establishing trust. She is reminded that she belongs in this league with each box out, rotation, and hustle play, particularly now that she's at last in a system that will reward those actions. Real roles are gained in this manner, through winning elements that coaches can rely on each and every night during a lengthy season, rather than through hype. People's attention is focused on being here with us and on whatever has occurred. However, I believe that in certain situations, people may feel like, man, I didn't get protected. It's difficult to avoid thinking, oh, they didn't want me, or it kind of feels like a failure in some type of way, or like rejection maybe is a better word. However, everyone's enthusiasm and energy to improve, learn, and support one another have been incredible. Thus, this is what Sue Bird meant when she said that players must have the proper fit. Kate is being given the opportunity to develop in the Golden State that she was never given in Las Vegas. She wasn't only given a part by the Valkyries. They gave her a mission. From the beginning, they provided her a genuine opportunity to have an impact. For this reason, quitting the Aces was a sign of independence rather than failure. Kate Martin's narrative has always been about perseverance, from Iowa to Vegas to Golden State. It also appears to be redemptive for the first time in a long time. I adore it. To be honest, it's been a lot of fun. However, they did bring a mad spark.
as if they
Quite intelligent, like wanting to play quickly. Indeed, they simply leave and go on.
We too wish to play like that.
As you can probably see from the figures, we want to play quickly and shoot a lot of threes. Therefore, their experience is that although they are young, they have been playing professionally for a much longer period of time. They have a great deal of experience and have undoubtedly added a lot of fun to the squad. The Golden State Valkyries are placing wagers on the leadership of Kate Martin. She was reminded of her true worth by Caitlin Clark. And Kate is demonstrating that sometimes it's wiser to go ahead and create your own instead of waiting for a door to open. So keep in mind the journey she traveled to get there the next time you see her wearing the Valkyries jersey. The one phone call that turned everything around, the bench time, the doubt, and the frustration. This is not merely a tale of a comeback. It teaches us to have faith in. Take care of yourself before others do. Leave a remark for Kate the Great if you're rooting for her. To ensure you never miss anything, like, subscribe, and enable all notifications. Click on the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next